Bear market, the bear market, the bear market is officially here. Some of you have heard that term bear market. And so today we're going to get a quick understanding of what a bear market looks like, how to survive one, and how to deal with a bear attack when it comes to your stocks. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started with the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day under one condition. The condition is that we are Black first. Black first means we put our community at the top of our priority list. Black first means we educate our kids. Black first means we're rebuilding our community. If you agree with this philosophy, put a hashtag B and the number one in the chat, hashtag B1. So I want to say hello to Montana Max. And shout out your city as you come into the chat. Let me know what city you're from. Justin from NYC. How you doing, Justin? Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Kevin Johnson, good to see you. All right, so here's the deal. Let me ask y'all, how many of you are aware that we are officially in a bear market? Now, give me a yes or no. Jay from Orlando, did you know that we're in a bear market? And let me know if you knew this. We've been talking about the declines in the market. One of the things I've been mentioning to you guys is that the consensus is that there's a lot more distance to fall, that the stock market's going to keep kind of declining, that you're going to keep getting hit pretty hard, and it's going to keep getting messy, and the axe murder is going to keep on chopping for a little bit. And today we officially hit bear market territory. What is a bear market? A bear market is when you are more than 20% off of the previous high. So we're kind of tinkering with a bear market, and it looked kind of good for a while. I think today started off kind of strong, and then kaboom, it just collapsed. And a lot of it was due to this is something I studied extensively in my PhD program, which is investor psychology. Investors are scared right now. When investors get scared, when consumers get scared, and everybody's scared, then your economy isn't doing it don't do what it do. It ain't gonna do what it do. So basically, you're dealing with an economy where the fear has started to kind of overcome the irrational exuberance that you had before. Largely, that overconfidence that existed before was driven by the Fed. The Fed was pumping money into the market, and now the Fed can't fix it. You know, it's in a way, it's like when you had that first bear market back in 2020. And I went live with you guys and I was telling you that the typical bear market lasts about 14 months. Well, that bear market was supposed to last for a while. It was supposed to last for a few months. It didn't. Instead of lasting for 14 months, it lasted about 3 weeks. Why did it only last for 3 weeks? Well, the reason it lasted for 3 weeks is because the Fed came along and said, dun, 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 dun. They gave good news and good information that made investors feel better. So like your mama coming up and saying, it's going to be okay, baby. Don't worry. I'm going to bail you out of jail. Don't worry. I'm going to cook you a hot meal and pay your rent this month. Right. So ultimately, you have a scenario where the Fed came in and made it all better. They injected medicine into the situation. And they gave you a little confidence, had you feeling ready to go out into the world. So investors were ready to buy. So then you had 2020, which was literally one of the most chaotic, ridiculously overly ambitious years ever in the history of stock market investing. You had stock market experts coming out of the woodwork. People bought stock last week, calling themselves stock market experts. Everybody was buying everything that moved. People were buying crypto that wasn't worth a damn nickel. And everybody was sort of out there just doing whatever because they thought that it could only go up. And so in that point, guys like me who I've looked at all the stock market data going back to the 1800s, and I'm kind of like, oh Lord, here we go again. Everybody's happy and drunk. You can't talk to drunk people. There's literally studies that show that money affects your brain like cocaine. So I'm not going to walk into a room full of cocaine addicts and say, hey, the police are coming, and eventually you might get addicted to coke, and that when you come down from this high off your crack, it's not going to feel very good. Crackheads don't want to hear that, so you just kind of let the party keep going, and you just wait until the party's over, and then you kind of say, okay, now let's analyze this. So now the police have arrived. The building has burned down. All your money's out of the bank account. There ain't no more crack. We done smoked up every ounce. And now it's time to get back to reality. It's time to go back to rehab and re-sober ourselves financially to really understand what we're dealing with and why it happened the way that it did. The problem with the Fed, in my view, is that the Fed gave way too much support for the economy. The Fed came in like gangbusters, ready to fix what they thought was going to be an epic borderline destruction of the entire global economic system. Like they came in with nuclear warheads to prepare for a fist fight. You don't show up to a fist fight with a nuclear warhead or AK-47 or a bazooka. Maybe you bring a knife. I'm not saying you should do that, but seriously, I mean, maybe that's what. But or you bring your fist, but you don't bring a nuclear warhead. They brought a nuclear warhead to a fist fight. So what happened was the Fed blew its load. The Fed basically everything that they could do to make the situation better, they did it all already. So now mama ain't coming to save you. Mama's not coming to bail you out of jail because mama done already mortgaged her house. Daddy's not coming to save you. Daddy has spent every penny in his bank account. So right now you're on your own. We are on our own to deal with economic consequences that were as predictable as me predicting that the earth is going to rotate around the sun. It was very predictable. Everything that we're seeing right now was predicted by a long list of experts over the last 2 years. So now you're dealing with a different economy. You're dealing with an economy where pay attention now, you've had an 8-week losing streak in the stock market. Does anybody I want you to guess in the chat, as everybody hits the thumbs up button, I want you to guess, when's the last time you had an 8-week losing streak in the economy? Can anybody guess what year that was? Let's throw out some years. Let me see. Can somebody guess? Let's guess. What? 2005, 1998. What do y'all think? The last time you had an 8-week losing streak in the market, 1974. Good guess, Andre. Keep the bills pace. That's 2007. Who else? The Earth doesn't rotate. Okay, well, you get it, man. Stop being nitpicky. 1950, nope. 2007, nope. 1992, nope. Try 1923. 1923. You're literally looking at an event that is once in a century. A century is about 3.5 generations long, I guess, approximately. So once every 3 or 4 generations, this is what you see. So you're literally watching history unfold right before you. You saw history happen during the pandemic, where the market did things it had never done before. It went to heights that had never gone up before. And if you imagine something that goes higher than it's ever gone before, that means it's going to fall further than it's ever fell before. So what goes up does come down. The market's coming down. And I did a conversation yesterday with Jay Morrison. You guys may want to check that out, where Jay really laid out some really interesting ways that you can defend yourself in the housing market with this coming recession. The stock market is what they call a forward-looking indicator. That means the market is looking ahead. The market reacts now to things that are going to happen in the future. So the market is they're saying, okay, I'm looking out a few miles and I see recession, I see stagflation, I see drops in corporate earnings, I see volatility, I see problems. So we're going to go ahead and panic now as a result of what we're expecting to occur over the next 2 years. Now, where's the interview? The interview, I believe it's on drboycetv.com, or you can go to theblackfinancialchannel.com. If you're on Instagram, the link is in the bio to my YouTube channels. So those are 2 places you should be able to find it. And by the way, as we move forward, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Also, just a reminder, don't forget that if you want to join us, we are having a Black Wealth Summit in Charlotte, it's going to be in New Orleans, right, during the Essence Music Fest, July 1st through July 3rd. Julian Gordon's going to come down and talk about real estate. Lene Javette is going to be there to work with you on your business. I'll be there to work with you on your stocks. My wife she actually wants to do speed dating and speed networking because she wants a social kind of spiel to it, which I think is very important. You want to connect with the right people. So if that's your thing and you want to come to the Essence Fest, come on down and hang out with us. We're going to be there for 3 days. So I'd love to see you. All right. So here's the deal. There are still a lot of good bargains in the market. In fact, there are probably more bargains than there have been in a long time. A lot of people thought that there were bargains in 2020 when really you had stocks that were priced at a level they shouldn't have been priced at. In fact, I'm going to go look right now, and I'll use Netflix as an example. Netflix, stock has just, I mean, been hit with an absolute bloodbath. It's down at 182. There was a time when Netflix stock was trading for, did it hit 700? At least 690. Actually, the 52-week high for Netflix stock is $700. So there were people who saw Netflix stock go from 700 to 650 and said, "Ooh, this is my chance. This is my chance." And they started scooping up shares. And then they saw it go from 650 to 550, and they said, "Oh man, this is unbelievable. It's $150 off." And then they saw it go from 550 to 450. They're like, "Oh my God, this is unbelievable. I gotta buy it now." Nope. It still kept going down and down and down. And here's the surprise. Here's the thing you got to keep in mind. It could keep going. It could keep going down. It could, I mean, it can't stop, won't stop. It's not as if there's a floor to the stock market. There really isn't much of a floor. There's a little bit of a floor theoretically, but it's not really a concrete floor. Like if everybody gets scared and the credit markets freeze up, and this financial contagion, my dissertation chair was named Andrew Caroli. He's at Cornell University now. His expertise was on financial contagion. Financial stress and fear can pass around like a virus. You know, you can have a financial COVID, basically. So if this financial fear and contagion hits, say, the banking industry, the banking sector, where banks aren't loaning money to businesses anymore to help them get the capital they need in order to survive, oh, you're going to see a collapse everywhere. Jeremy Grantham has stated that he believes that this could be worse than the tech bubble bursting in 2000, largely because you didn't contain back then the virus was somewhat contained. It was contained mainly to the stock market in the tech sector. Now, everybody can get hit. Everybody can get some. You know, you're talking about real estate market. You're talking about, businesses being able to get the capital they need. Your government is $30 trillion in debt. They can only do so much. The only thing I could see causing a rally, at least short term, is if the Fed gets some good news on the inflation front. Like if they find out that inflation can be managed on some level, which I don't see any indicator that that's going to occur, then they may decide, okay, we can pull back the rate of our tapering. Like we can sort of slow down we can slow down the slowdown, so to speak, because right now they're being what they call incredibly hawkish. That means they're trying to raise interest rates. They're trying to really reel in this inflation thing very aggressively because you don't want out of control inflation in your society. There have been countries where the inflation rate was like, 100% or 200% a day, where you might go to the grocery store and bread is $1 on Tuesday and $3 on Thursday. So you don't want to live in that kind of economy. It's happened before. So inflation is really the thing that they're trying to control the most. The hope is that they can pull it in without completely destroying the economy at the same time. I don't know if they can pull that off because the faith that people have in the Fed has pretty much disappeared because they handled the pandemic so badly. I really think at this point, Jay Powell is at risk of being remembered as one of the worst, Fed chairman in history. It didn't have to go that way in 2020 and 2021, but it did. And I hope that you got some of your money out. And if you didn't, then maybe this is the time to go bargain hunting. If you believe that these are bargains, I do. I just dollar cost average. I'm a long-term investor. So from a long-term perspective, if you're looking at that 5-year mark and beyond, then you really can just kind of look away. Warren Buffett says when times like this happen, just look away. Just do something else. Right? Just own your stocks, keep buying, and just look away so you don't get all stressed out. Like I don't want you to get scared. Right? And if you are scared, actually, if you go to boycewatkins.com, my wife, who is a therapist, we did a PowerPoint presentation literally on how to deal with financial anxiety. A lot of people are very nervous about money. A lot of people are very scared. So when they talk about money mindset, sure, there is the abundance mentality where you believe that all blessings are yours and you're going to make all this money. But there's the other side of managing that dark financial anxiety, which can stress us out. Money affects your mind and your physical and mental health in so many ways. And I don't want you freaking out. And I don't want to sound like Mr. Doom and Gloom. And I want you to be able to see opportunity in every situation. There are lots of opportunities now. There will be more opportunities in the future. But I encourage you just to become a smart investor and not a trendy investor who's just following the crowd. You're smarter than that. I want you to do better and I want you to succeed. Okay. All right. So my wife and I, we are at our 1-year wedding anniversary. Hooray for us. Woo! Yeah. Been married to this beautiful Black woman for a year. That's a tremendous honor. My greatest investment yet. And so we're actually going to be out of the country. for a week to celebrate the anniversary. We're actually taking the cruise that we paid for before the wedding, but we did it in 2019 and the pandemic hit. And so all the cruise ships shut down. So it took us 2 years to go back. So we're going to get on the cruise ship. And so I don't know how much you're going to see me over the next week or whatever. I'll run some recordings. So if you see me on my channel and it's like a recorded voice, just forgive me for that. Just know that that's what's going on. But during that time, what we're also going to do is we're working on some stuff. She's actually putting together a whole workbook on like love and money. Like we're really intrigued with how money and relationships tie together and how couples kind of manage their money, stuff like that. So we're going to do a love and money masterclass once we're done. And I'll tell you guys about it a little bit later, but I just want to let you guys know that's what's going down. So shout out to all the Black families out there and all the Black men that love Black women and all the Black women that love us back. I appreciate you very much. And I encourage you to stand up in this war. I know that there's a gender war. There's a war, not just a gender war. There's a gender war as well. There's a war that's kind of pitting us against each other. And I'm very much against that. So I think we need to go to war with the war, right? So the way to fight this war is to fight it with love. And I love all of y'all. And I love the Black woman, no matter what, till the day I die. And I encourage every real Black man to stand up and repeat similar words. You got to stand up against the punks and let them know that this is not going to be tolerated in our community. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys have a great day. And I'll check back in a little bit later. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. Love you. See you soon. Peace.